Game day's here, I can hear the crowd. Turn on the lights, fans are cranked up and loud. Red or blue, we wear it proud. Yeah, we love our teams in this border town. Chiefs and Royals, Boo Mizzou, Rock Chalk, Jayhawk, KU. Hear that drum pounding in your feet. Yeah, you're marching to the beat of KC.
What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the beat of KC. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lucas Murphy, and I yet again get to provide you another video on the Kansas City Royals. And the reason is because JJ Piccolo and his staff yet again make an absolutely impressive move. We're going to really use this video as an opportunity to talk about the trade and the acquisition that was made. But I think also what I want to do is really just dive into how impressive of an offseason JJ Piccolo has had up to this point. We have not even made that massive left field acquisition yet. But the thing is this team is starting to really get solidified in a lot of areas. They've really addressed and went and evaluated where they truly needed to upgrade, why they needed to upgrade, and they addressed those through trade, through free agency, through depth pieces. There's just been a lot of things that have really kind of just been truly impressive. And I think it's starting to be noticed by the national media. There's a lot of people that are talking about the moves the Kansas City Royals are making.
Going to the Kansas City Royals in exchange for Jonathan Bolden, who had some significant innings last year out of the Royals bullpen. Older guy with the big strikeout upside. Tell us what you know about this.
Well, look, I think the thing with Matt Strahm, since he got to Philly, he was one of the most consistent relievers, consistent left-handers in Major League Baseball, all-star in 2024. And if you're the Kansas City Royals and JJ Piccolo, you're like, all right, how do we strengthen our team? We add one of the better relievers in baseball. And I think for Matt Strahm, you go back to Kansas City, the team that drafted you. You're an older vet now. You've had some success. I think this is a really good move for the Kansas City Royals, because if you get the back of the baseball card version of Matt Strahm, you're going to have a really good reliever down there in Kansas City.
Taking on a little bit of payroll are the Royals, making almost $8 million in this coming season. But I think everything you said I agree with. And I also feel like for Philadelphia, this is a small clearing, but they're trying to clear as much money as they can to get Real Muto re-signed too. I think there's a correlation there too.
This one specifically, ladies and gentlemen, and I have to give props to Jack Johnson, who out of the blue decided, hey, I'm going to make a video covering Matt Strahm. Wouldn't you know it, the next day, Matt Strahm is acquired by the Kansas City Royals. Absolutely phenomenal, and it's exciting. We're going to talk about that. In a busy early winter for the Kansas City Royals front office, the team announced 2 roster moves on December 19th that signal a commitment to reinforcing pitching depth and infield versatility as they build towards the 2026 season. Bringing back a veteran arm, the Royals acquired left-handed relief pitcher Matt Strahm from the Philadelphia Phillies in exchange for right-handed pitcher Jonathan Bolden. Strom, who is 34, returns to the organization that originally drafted him in 2012 and where he made his big league debut in 2016. Over the past 3 seasons with the Phillies, Strom emerged as one of baseball's more effective southpaw relievers, posting a sub-3 ERA and earning an all-star selection in 2024 before finishing the 2025 campaign with a 2.74 ERA in 66 games. His career includes 395 appearances with 3.36 ERA and a solid strikeout and walk rates, giving the Royals a reliable late inning option that he is now going to be your setup man. I think really it's just going to be the versatility, how Q really feels Strom fits into the bullpen. Ladies and gentlemen, this bullpen is starting to become a factor. They're really starting to add pieces to this bullpen that are going to make this thing an absolute powerhouse. I mean, we've made some major acquisitions in that bullpen, some proven track records that are not only returning to the Kansas City Royals, but have been added to the Kansas City Royals. I mean, this Matt Strahm trade, ladies and gentlemen, is a big-time deal. I mean, you had the talking heads of Major League Baseball really kind of saying how big of a deal this is that Strom is traded back to the Kansas City Royals. Now, there's a lot of people that were saying the Phillies were trying to clear his salary And a lot of people believe that they're clearing that salary because they want to bring back JT Realmuto, their catcher, who is asking for a decent price. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Strahm, as we just talked, has been one of the most bona fide left-handed relief pitchers in all of baseball, at least for the last 3 seasons. He has been an absolute beast, a workhorse. For Kansas City, the move strengthens the bullpen with a proven veteran capable of handling high-leverage situations against left-handed and right-handed hitters alike. Strom's track record, particularly his ability to miss barrels and limit walks, fits a Royals relief corps that has shown promise, but really lacked the consistent firepower in some areas. And I think that really is key in this entire situation. Matt Strahm has one of the most insane sliders. And granted, it's crazy to think that he goes back to the team that drafted him and is able to really provide a run that I feel is going to really help really go after the AL Central. I think that really leads us into this next piece. And I think the big part that I really want to talk about is JJ Piccolo's really impressive offseason as the Royals GM. The 2025-26 season has been one of the most active and strategically thoughtful in recent Kansas City Royals history. General Manager JJ Piccolo leading the charge. He has used a blend of trades, free agent signings, and extensions to reinforce roster and sustain competitive momentum. Ladies and gentlemen, most of these moves are not just for 2026. They're not throwing all their chips into 2026 and saying, hey, we're doing everything we can to just win for 1 year. No, this is for longevity, which we're going to talk about. What stands out about Piccolo's offseason isn't just the moves themselves, it's the philosophy behind them. He's willing to spend money in right situations and compete for impact talent, while also showing discipline and patience when it fits. The fit isn't right. And I think the key thing with that is we've heard a ton of rumors about people wanting Cole Ragans, the ace of this staff, and what it would take and what we would get in return for a Cole Ragans. But they're hesitant, and they even came out and verbally said, we're not moving that guy. We're just not moving our ace. We believe in what he is. There's a reason why we extended him. There's a lot of reasons why he is the ace of this staff. We sought after him when we traded for him from the Texas Rangers, and we saw what he can do. When he's healthy, he is a bona fide ace. He's an all-star. He leads this staff in so many ways. So I really think that he's being patient. When I say he, JJ Piccolo, he's not just going to force a trade just to make it happen. His trades are value-oriented, improving the roster without sacrificing major future flexibility. The front office's longevity suggests a stable, sustained plan rather than short-term swings. His offseason has been very good for the Kansas City Royals. Through savvy trades, competitive negotiations in free agency, targeted depth signings, and securing long-term stability with Maikel Garcia, signing him to a long-term deal, you really locked up the left side of your infield. He's positioned the Royals to not just compete again in 2026, but to build towards sustained success. We will still anticipate a marquee bat addition. I still think that is going to happen. I don't think that they're just going to sit on their hands now that they've made a decent amount of acquisitions to really bolster this lineup, to really bolster this bullpen. I don't think that's done. I think that they're still laying the groundwork to make a monster move to really get this team in a perfectly good position. It's that magical time of the year again. The minute the boxes come out of storage and the first string of lights flickers on, everything just feels brighter. The smell of pine fills the house. The Christmas tree goes up, and suddenly you're transforming your home into a full-blown holiday wonderland. Maybe you're climbing the ladder to hang lights on the roof, setting up those larger-than-life yard decorations, or turning the living room into the coziest place on earth. But sometimes, the Christmas spirit outgrows the space you're in. Whether you're dreaming of a bigger living room, for the perfect tree, a yard worthy of your holidays display, or simply a home that better fits your seasonal traditions, now might be the ideal time to find your dream home. Lisa Miller at Lynch Real Estate. With over 13 years of experience and licenses in both Kansas and Missouri, Lisa isn't just selling houses. She's helping you find a place to call home. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer, looking to upsize, or selling your current home, Lisa makes the process smooth and stress-free. As a local expert, passionate about building lasting relationships, she ensures her clients feel confident and satisfied every step of the way. Don't wait. Your perfect home is just a call away. Contact Lisa today at 913-579-3246 or 913-369-3000 or visit lisamillersaleskc.com. Let Lisa Miller at Lynch Real Estate help you start your next chapter. So if you're ready to make a move that matches your holiday joy, Lisa Miller is here to help you find that place where your Christmas magic can truly come to life. You know, I was asked today, what would you grade JJ Piccolo's offseason so far? And truthfully, if I'm being dead honest, I'm going to say an A-. Once he makes that major acquisition for the left fielder that we anticipate being traded for, I'm going to give him an A+, ladies and gentlemen, because I know it's coming. I know what we've added. I know the competitiveness that we've now created. You're really generating an all-around lineup that is going to be flexible, that is going to be capable of winning ball games against some very good, talented, big market teams. And so this is going to be something I'm going to highlight a lot of the time, is how JJ Piccolo has just been super impressive. And props go to his staff too. You know, that's the biggest thing. Now, they also made another acquisition. This one was a minor league deal. In addition to not only bolstering the pen, the Royals also signed infielder Abraham Toro to a minor league contract that includes an invitation to big league spring training. Toro, who turns 29 shortly after the agreement, has spent the past 7 seasons in the majors, most recently with the Boston Red Sox, before being outrighted off the roster in August of 2025. Over that span, he posted a slash line of 223, 285, and 356. In the majors, really below league average, but indicative of a player with utility value, and showed more promising offensive numbers earlier in his minor league career. I think the big thing is defensively. Toro brings that flexibility that the Royals really seek and are sought after, having logged innings across multiple infield positions and occasional work in the outfield corners. With the Royals already set on the left side of the infield, including stars such as Bobby Witt Jr. and now locked up long-term Maikel Garcia at third base, Toro projects as an organizational depth with the potential to earn a bench role or provide insurance in case of an injury. Kansas City is also those options like Nick Lofton and Tyler Tolbert within the organization. But I think the biggest thing is they really kind of gave those guys opportunities. They've had multiple opportunities to really prove themselves, why they deserve to be on the big league roster. And at times they've shined. Majority of the time they have not shined. And Tyler Tolbert probably needs a little bit more experience. You know, his forte, his really why he was a part of the big league roster is his speed. If we're just being dead honest, Tyler Tolbert as a flash. And Nick Lofton has had his opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. And I think really the fuse on him has really kind of got to the end. And I just think that they realize like what Nick Lofton is. And so they're like, no, we need to really upgrade at a position like him to really make sure that we're bringing in a veteran presence that can provide, you know, maybe a boost, maybe some experience, things like that. And so what does all this mean for the Royals? Taken together, the Strom trade and the Toro signing reflect a nuanced offseason strategy from the Royals front office. Invest in experienced pitchers to shorten games and add versatile position players who can fill multiple roles. I mean, that you got to think about the trades we've made. Yeah, we've signed guys, Lane Thomas. I mean, the list goes on and on. The things that we've done to really bolster, again, this lineup. The acquisition of Strom addresses a bullpen need that adds another reliable arm, extremely reliable, to the relief corps that will help bridge to the closer's role. Meanwhile, Toro gives the Royals a veteran who can contribute both at AAA and potentially at the big league level, offering flexibility during a long season. Ladies and gentlemen, we know they play 162 games in the regular season. They have, 30-something games in the spring training. If they make it to the postseason, you're adding even more games. It's a long season. You're going to need guys like Abraham Toro at some point. They will probably go to him at some point, and he will contribute in some form or fashion. That's just how it works. You know, we've seen guys like Michael Massey get hurt and have to go down to the minor leagues and really spend some time. He's had back injuries. He's had multiple things. You've had guys like Jonathan India who gets hurt and really just isn't capable of being on the field. So you really have to have that flexibility and guys that can really come up and play in a pinch and things like that. As Kansas City continues to refine its roster for the 2026 campaign, these moves really underscore the organization's blend of short-term competitiveness with longer-term depth building, a pattern likely to continue as the offseason progresses. And we've heard, too, that the Royals are kind of over what they really anticipated for their budget for this year. So that's another reason why I anticipate that they're just not done. I think that there's still that massive move that's going to be made. I would still anticipate that some guys are probably going to be moved off this roster to really, again, solidify a long-term but very competitive baseball team. You're trying to win the AL Central, and they are doing a very good job of competing in the AL Central. This is really starting to kind of compete against teams like the Detroit Tigers and teams that are really kind of standing out in the AL Central. Now you're really kind of evening the playing field with those teams and showing like, hey, we can go head to head with you with pitching. We can go head to head with you from a batting standpoint. We can go head to head with you on defense, and we're going to compete. That's the biggest thing from this entire thing. I'm super excited for this season, ladies and gentlemen. I have not been this amped for a baseball season. I would say probably, I definitely was really anticipating last year, especially coming off of the playoff kind of run that we had, being able to beat the Baltimore Orioles and then take on the New York Yankees. And then obviously last year we came up short, but you could just feel like it was there. I think the same thing can be said for the ownership group and also really the front office. I think they know what they have right now, and they just needed to upgrade in some areas. And they've definitely done that, ladies and gentlemen. They have definitely done that. Make sure you guys smash and share and subscribe to this video. I appreciate all the support. It has been absolutely phenomenal. I can't thank y'all enough. The channel is growing. The support has been extraordinary. I can't thank y'all enough. I do truly, truly appreciate it. And let's go Royals. I end every video the exact same way. Have a good day.